Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the new Makeup Revolution London Foundation Stick. This launched recently, I want to say like a month ago or a couple of weeks ago, but I picked this up a few weeks ago at Ulta. They had it on their new display and I was so excited when I saw this. I saw this kind of bouncing around Instagram and I knew that I really wanted to try it out because I just tested out the Makeup Revolution concealer. Honestly, I'm not really crazy about the concealer. If you guys have been watching my past couple of videos, then you probably know that, but for some reason, I was very intrigued by this. Stick foundations is something that I've really been wanting to get into more, but a lot of the stick foundations that come out are high-end. Like Anastasia has one, Tarte has one, Makeup Forever has one, and you guys know I just love a good drugstore foundation. So when I saw that this came out, I picked it up a few weeks ago at my local Ulta, like I said, for only $9. The price point on this is really awesome for a foundation, so I figured I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna give it a good shot, wear it for you guys, because if this is an awesome foundation for only $9, that is something that I definitely wanted to share with you guys. It is already 3:30, so I'm not really sure how many more check-ins I'm going to have for you guys, but I have been wearing this foundation since around 1:30, so it has been about 2 hours already, so that's a little sneak peek. This is how the foundation is holding up after 2 hours. But I really hope that you guys enjoy this video and find it helpful, and let's just get on into the review. So first things first, just a little bit about the physical product and what it looks like and stuff like that. This is what the packaging looks like right here. I love this. I think that this is so adorable. It has like a really nice soft touch baby pink packaging, so very reminiscent of NARS packaging. Everyone always compares soft touch to NARS. And then it has rose gold accents in the name, as well as where it meets the cap right here. And then when you open the product, it also has the rose gold inside, and then this is what the actual product looks like. So keep in mind that I have been using this for a few weeks already, so it is pretty worn down, but I will get into how much this product has inside of it and everything like that in a second. I just wanted to show you guys the foundation, and one thing that I do want to say is I find right off the bat this product is very melty. It's very creamy and soft, which I like because it goes on very easy in application. It blends out very easily, but if you leave this like in front of your window, this is going to get extra creamy and a little bit melty. So I have had to throw this in the fridge a few times to kind of harden up and get back to normal, but that revives it right back to life and it is fine after that. But overall, I've really been enjoying the packaging of this. I think it's a really great travel foundation. It's super tiny. I don't know if you guys can see, I have pretty small hands and it is a really tiny, so it's nice for travel. It's good to just throw in your purse if you want to use it as like a little bit of a touch-up stick as well. So yeah, and I love blush pink and rose gold, so definitely 10 out of 10 on the packaging. So on Makeup Revolution's website and also on Ulta, this foundation retails for $9, which I think is an awesome price for the drugstore. And I'm just gonna read you guys a little bit about the description. So Makeup Revolution says, foundation just got faster, launching in 18 shades and a range of undertones. Fast-based foundation quickly perfects, contours, and highlights your complexion. Foundation sticks like this are definitely very multi-use, and this one is a really decent price point that I could see it getting all three of them for that reason. So it says this easy to apply stick formula melts into the skin, blending seamlessly to leave a fresh and dewy finish. This is definitely a dewy foundation. You guys are gonna see in the demo before I set or do concealer or anything like that, this is a crazy dewy formula. This to me is probably more dewy than my L'Oreal Pro Glow foundation, which I didn't think that it could get any more dewy than that, but this has such a beautiful finish. It's almost a little bit too dewy for my skin right off the bat. I do feel like it highlights some of my texture until I set it, but it's very comfortable on the skin and I think the coverage is awesome. It is a very high medium coverage, borderlining a full coverage foundation. So definitely been enjoying the formula, but you guys will see more of that when I actually do the demo, so you guys can have a visual as well. And then for application, of course, you just twist it up, swipe on, and blend out with your fingers, a beauty sponge or your favorite foundation brush. I'm gonna be demoing for you guys half with a sponge and half with a brush when I get into the video. And of course, it comes in the 18 shades. Of course, with every foundation launch, there is always room for expansion and always room for more shades and more tones. And just for example, some of the undertones are pink, neutral, yellow, golden, peach, and beige. So definitely a lot of different spectrum when it comes to undertones. A lot of the times in foundation, you kind of just see warm, medium, and cool, but this foundation does touch on beige, golden, and peachy as well, which I think is very nice. I definitely think in every foundation, there's always room for improvement. So as far as the Ulta website and the Makeup Revolution website goes, I think that that is all of the information that I have to share with you guys. If you guys want to check out the ingredients and stuff like that, I will have a link to the product listed down below, and also a link where you guys can purchase the product as well. If you guys purchase through my link, I will make a small commission, so thank you ahead of time if you guys decide to purchase this foundation and use my link and support my channel. The shade that I wear in this foundation is F6, which is described as a light to medium skin tones with yellow undertone. I definitely don't think I'm straight up yellow. I always thought I was a little bit more neutral to olive, but this is definitely the one that matches me best. In this particular foundation, it's not 100% perfect, but I think it really matches my neck well, and it's pretty close. I think it's the closest shade match for me in this line. So like I said, I wear the shade F6, and I am going to be giving you guys a little bit of a comparison right now to Maybelline Matte and Poreless as well as Fenty, because I know a lot of you guys say that you are similar skin tone to me and you like knowing like comparisons of foundation shades and stuff like that. So I'm just going to do those swatches and then I will show you guys. Let me just give you a live swatch of the Makeup Revolution while I'm here so you guys can see how creamy this is. So there is the foundation. Honestly, I wouldn't think that it has a strong yellow undertone to it. I've definitely seen foundations that are more yellow. So honestly, I do think it does lean a little bit more neutral than yellow, but it does match me pretty well. Okay, so here are all three of the foundations next to each other. So here is the Makeup Revolution. This is Maybelline Matte and Poreless in 120 Classic Ivory and Fenty 190. So they're definitely all a bit different. I think that 120 by Maybelline is a little bit more pink than the other ones and maybe like half a shade deeper. And I think Fenty is a little bit more yellow toned than the Makeup Revolution. I think it's kind of weird that all of these match me and they look so different on my hand, but I hope that that's a good and helpful comparison for you guys. So now I'm going to be hopping on into the demo and application portion of this video. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I totally forgot to film the demo and application today. I was almost done doing my makeup and then I realized that I did my foundation and forgot to film it. So you guys are going to see a clip of me applying the foundation a different day, but that's okay. I just want to give you guys some sort of visual and how it goes on with the sponge and the brush and how it looks before I set it and have a full face on. So we are going to be jumping into that now, and then I'll come back to give you guys some final thoughts and the check-in. Alright, so now we're going to hop on into the application of the foundation stick. If you guys hear snoring, my dog is sleeping right there and he is snoring. So like I mentioned, I'm going to be doing one half of my face with a sponge and then the other half with a brush so you guys can see how it goes on with both tools. So I did previously mention this, the foundation stick is so creamy and you really don't need a lot of it. The first time I used this, I actually used a little bit too much, but you really don't need a lot to get a nice coverage on the face. So I like just to do maybe 3 stripes, 2 or 3 stripes on my cheek. As you guys can see, that's very, very creamy. And then just a little bit on the other areas of my face. Just like that should be enough. So then just going with my sponge, this is the L'Oreal Face Blender sponge. This is the best sponge ever. I'm just gonna start buffing this out with the big side of the sponge. As you guys can see, it blends out so easily and moves around really nicely with the damp sponge. So there's one layer of the sponge side. I definitely do think I'm gonna have to go in and add a little bit more. The sponge does take down just a little bit of the product, but first I'm gonna do the brush side so you guys can see what the first layer looks like in comparison to this side. So I'm just gonna start going in and buffing this out. I do find that doing this with the brush just keeps a lot more of the coverage than with the sponge, especially with this product. Okay, so here is the first layer of the foundation with the brush done. I feel like this side is so much more full coverage than it is with the sponge and also way more dewy. I don't know why. Usually with certain foundations, the damp sponge makes the foundation a lot more dewy, but as you guys can see, I don't know if you could see the difference. There's just so much more of a glow and definitely way more full coverage on the side that I use the brush. I do still like to press over this formula with a sponge though, because I do feel like it picks up some streaks from the brush and it's kind of hard to buff them out. So I just like to go over it and press it down with the sponge to take out the streaks. So I definitely would have to say overall that would be my favorite way to apply this foundation, is the brush first and then going over it with the beauty blender. But as you guys can see, if you press down with the blender too hard, it does pick up some of that coverage. So I just like to be really light-handed with it just kind of taking away the brush strokes. So I don't think I'm gonna do a second layer on this side because like I said, it is very full coverage. I'm just gonna go in a little bit more on the side that I started with the sponge, and then I'm gonna buff that out again with the sponge just to see what a second layer would look like. So super up close, here is the foundation done on both sides. So this is 2 layers with a sponge and then 1 layer with the brush, and then I pressed it over with the sponge. So I definitely think, like I said, that is my favorite way to apply it, but you can definitely apply it with a sponge. I just think in order to get the most potential out of the coverage of the product, you might need an extra layer or so on the side with the sponge. So overall, definitely a really dewy foundation. Like I said a million times, but I hope seeing the actual application with the different tools on the different side of my face was helpful for you guys. By the way, I did forget to mention that my face is primed as always with some primer spray, and then I also used my Fenty primer as well as the Smashbox Photo Finish primer to top that off. Alright, so that was the application. I really hope that gave you guys a helpful look at how it looks upon initial application and how dewy the foundation actually is. I definitely think that my skin looks really healthy though after I set it in everything. Definitely when I first do application, I'm like, whoa, like I feel very, very dewy. It kind of highlights some of my texture. Definitely a little bit too dewy for my taste, but once I set it in everything, I think it looks perfect. And as you guys can see, I think with a little bit of powder, it still brings such a nice liveliness to the skin, but I don't look greasy or anything like that. So overall, I've really been liking this foundation, and I definitely would say if you guys are interested to check it out. It's a really great affordable foundation. Like I said, I will have the link right in the description box down below if you guys want to go check that out. But I was really impressed. This was one of the first stick foundations I've tried. I believe I maybe tried that Maybelline matte one years ago, like when I first got into makeup, but this is the only stick foundation that I have tried recently, being more into makeup and application and foundation and stuff like that, and I have to say I really like this. This is something to me that is much easier to apply than a liquid foundation, and I highly recommend this, especially if you are someone who needs to just put on your foundation and go. This is a really great product for that as well. I like everything about this, and I definitely would recommend this to you guys. So just to give you guys a little bit of a close-up, this is what the foundation looks like after 2 hours of wear. I did put it on earlier when I was getting ready, and then I filmed another video and was doing a couple of other things, but this is after 2 hours of wear, and I still think it looks really nice on the skin. It's just sitting so gorgeous. I think it evens everything out. It almost gives my skin like a borderline airbrushed finish, and it looks really pretty. If you guys know me, I definitely have been liking a little bit more of a lively, glowy foundation. I don't like a super dry, like matte kind of look on the skin, but this is really pretty, and I think it looks awesome on the skin. And just for reference, if you guys are wondering, I do tend to get a little bit oily in the T-zone, but the rest of my face is pretty normal. Hi guys, so back with another check-in. It is around 7:25 right now, so that means I've had the foundation on for about 6 hours. Like I said, I applied it around 1:30, and this is what it's looking like. Definitely, you guys can see it's a more dewy foundation. I think 6 hours is like a really good average time for foundation wear, but it is still looking good. My oils are just starting to seep through a little bit. I definitely would say that if you are more on the oily side, I'm not sure if you're gonna 100% love this foundation. It is very, very dewy, as you guys can see throughout this video, but I still think it looks good. I don't think it's really settling. Maybe in my smile lines, but it usually always settles. Literally no matter what foundation I wear, I always get a little bit of settling in the smile lines. But as you guys can see, I am just pretty greasy, especially like on my T-zone, my nose, and around this area where I usually do get oily. I would say that I am more oily than normal, which has been happening to me with this foundation the couple times that I have been wearing it just because of its formula, but it doesn't look bad. I definitely still think it's staying in place nicely, and it looks good. So definitely, I think after wearing it now for about 6 hours, and of course testing it out for a couple weeks, if you have like combo normal to dry skin, I think you will love this foundation. But I think if you are just like excessively oily, I'm not really sure if you are going to love it. So that is my 6-hour check-in. I will definitely check in with you guys in a few more hours. I'm gonna try to do like another 2 or 3 hours, so it'll be like a total of 8 or 9 hours for the check-in. I know a lot of people don't usually wear makeup past that point of like 9 or 10 hours, but I will try to push the check-in as late as possible so I can show you guys how the foundation holds up for a long period of time. So I will see you then. Okay, so final check-in of the day. It is almost 10:15. So I've had this foundation on now for almost 9 hours, which is way above average, I would say, of a wear time. I mean, I usually don't wear my foundation for that long, but I am definitely glowy, kind of greasy. I definitely see the foundations like breaking up on my nose. I don't know if you guys can see, but I think it's just because my oil's like breaking through. It's just kind of like sliding off of my nose at this point, and it is getting like really transferring kind of whenever I touch my face. So it is looking greasy, but overall I think for 9 hours it looks good. I can definitely just fix this with like a quick blot. Maybe I should blot and see how it looks like. So I'm just gonna do a quick blot so you guys can just see what it'll look like when the shine goes down a little bit. And typically I would be blotting throughout the day, or if I saw it getting this shiny, I just didn't want to touch it for the purpose of this video so you guys can see. But as you guys can see, I just used some Catrice Prime and Fine mattifying some Catrice Prime and Fine mattifying powder, and it took the shine right away. So you're definitely able to take the shine down in this foundation if you had to. Like I said, I just didn't want to touch it for the purpose of this video, but overall I still think it looks really good. A lot of the coverage is still there. It just broke up on my nose a little bit, but it didn't really start breaking up until like the 7 or 8 hour mark, when my oil started to peek through and really kind of the foundation was just kind of sliding off of that area. But overall, my contour, my blush, my highlight are all still there and going strong. Nothing looks like it broke down. Brandon, how does my face look? Perfect. All right, you guys, so that is going to complete my review and demo all about the new Makeup Revolution stick foundation. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. I love doing reviews for you guys and testing out new products, and I love finding affordable gems like this one. Definitely let me know if you guys have tried this foundation, and let me know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. Like I said, I think it is awesome, and I definitely recommend that you guys go check it out if you want or if you can. So definitely make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel and have my notifications on. That way you guys get notified every single time I upload a new video, and you won't miss out on any of my future uploads. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.